Hold on.
Left them shook.
I'm sorry y'all wanted to upgrade from Skype. Excuse me.
I don't even think is Skype still a thing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Is it? Can you record though?
Y'all, we could have Ubered.
Oh, good God.
I remember talking
Glory
to
days.
strange people on there. Being like, ASL.
What?
You don't know what that means?
American Sign Language? That's what it means.
Age, sex, location.
Oh, ma'am.
You used to send that to people, and they'd be like, I'm 16, female, and I live here.
Oh, see, I just waited until I was 18, and then I led with my nudes, so.
Oh.
I was doing this at 13, sir.
Bam!
And I was saying I was 17. Yeah. Hey, hold on. What did we say that our podcast name was back in the day?
Candy Bella Show? Or a different one?
Yeah, that one. The Candy Bella.
Hey, it's Mark.
And Ashley.
This is our podcast.
And we have
no
idea
what the F we're doing.
Clearly. So follow along while we try to figure out what it is that we're doing.
Or die trying.
This is What the F Are We Doing?
The podcast.
I mean, I don't even have the heart. Like I'm sure they really know, like, that me and Ashley met on the internet, but, like, I never, like, said it, you know?
Well, that's my thing is I'm like, we met in college, but we've known each other since from before.
Yeah, but she didn't know that.
I guess that's true. I guess we didn't actually start Skyping until we were both in college, so technically.
I know. And I was
Uvu.
like, listen, if that's, like, the worst thing that I ever lied about, then, like, they asked at first, they're like, so how do you know her? And, like, how did she end up there? And I was like, I don't know.
I mean, like, they never asked me when I got there, so.
Wait, do they know about your tattoo?
Huh?
They know about some tattoos. I don't think they know about the one.
No, they know about all of them. But this one, oh my gosh, she about had a heart attack over that one. It was months. And, like, I don't even know how me and Ashley, like, were able to sneak away. Like, we were, like, in, like, the worst part of where I live, downtown, like, the middle of the night. And they were like, yeah, you can come at, like, 9:30 and get these tattoos. And we were like, how are we going to, like, swing this?
What did we tell her? We
went and ate. And then I think we were I don't even remember what we said. It was so stupid, but we went and we got the money, and I was like, she's gonna see that, like, I got the money out of the ATM. I don't know. And then we went through the parking deck, which was sketchy.
Do you remember that there was also somebody, like, waiting outside by the car too?
I'm not surprised, because, like, I worked across the street at that salon, so, like, I used to, like, at the time. That's where I started out, because we went by there, because I had, like, not seen those people in, like, years. Like, I quit one day and just walked out. I was like, bye. But yeah, so, like, I went to the Bahamas with my dad, like, oh God, like 2 weeks after we got those tattoos. And, like, I was taking, like, pictures and stuff, and I think he could see it, and, like, I tried to keep it covered up, but, like, he didn't say anything to me. And then I was always wearing, like, long sleeves in my house because they keep it, like, freezing. One day I was just doing something and my mom was like, what's that? And I was like, it's a tattoo. And she was like, and I just was like, I'm just gonna play it off. She's like, no, it's not. And I was like, yeah, it is. And then she got pissed at me because she didn't go with us.
Yeah.
She's like, your first tattoo. No, and I was like, well, not. But yeah. And she's like, well, I have to go with you to the next one.
Yeah, I had my stripped one for like 2 months before my mom even saw it. And I'm normally shirtless.
Okay, but wait, hold on. Let's talk about how when your mom found your first one, I was scared.
We left. Like, Ashley made me leave my house because she didn't want to be here.
And I've never been scared of his mom. And I was like, we gotta go.
You were like, I'm literally about to have a panic attack. We need to leave.
Well, even Becca was like,
We should go.
We need to go.
Let's drive anywhere. It doesn't matter.
Well, see, and then like I got that one, so she was like, "Okay, well, your next one, I have to go with you." And I was like, "Okay." Well, then I went and got this one, and when I first showed her that one, like my idea, it was only supposed to be like that big, and then my friend was like, "Well, the bigger it is, the better it'll look like later." And I was just like, "Whatever." So it's like, how did I go from like that tiny little to bam, my whole arm? And then she's like, "You're never gonna stop." And I was like, "No, I'm not. I never told you I was going to." Why does Ashley keep muting herself?
Because
It's the worst.
no, I
Because-
mute myself because I breathe really loud sometimes and I don't want to have to edit them out. So
But here's the thing. She always does it conveniently right when I say something funny. And then like when you're watching the video, you're like, oh, she's laughing, but there's no sound. Whereas when you're listening on like Spotify.
There's like a 30-second.
Right. I say something I say something hilarious. And I'm laughing at myself because I'm laughing at her laughing. But they can't hear it.
can we just talk about how every time Mark posts a dancing video, we tag each other in it because we have to make sure.
Questions. He's never
I
like,
know.
"Why are y'all doing this?"
I know.
I love it because I'm like, Ashley, did you see this?
Every
And
time.
it's not because I'm making fun of him. I'm just like, okay, like I used to be able to do that before I had a baby.
I'm gonna get you flexible again. I'm starting my belly dancing ab workout. We're gonna get you some V lines that lead like right to your
I ain't
tabs.
never had no V lines, honey.
I did at one point, and then they went away. Then I met my husband.
I'm telling you, it's called relationship weight. If you do not gain it, you ain't happy.
True. But I also like to drink wine, so that's also a problem.
I don't know what my problem is.
Wait, are we calling her Brooke or Megan on here? Because
I don't
we
know who
said
the fuck Megan is. She's
Call me
Brooke.
Brooke.
I don't know you as Megan.
We'll explain it. I'll be like, listen, the only person that calls me by my legal first name out of all of you heifers is Kaylin, and it still freaks me out when she does it. I'm like, wait, what?
Why does she?
I think she does it to be funny.
She'll text me and she'll be like, Megan, and I'm like,
Who?
I'm like, who the fuck is Megan?
But yet you're friends with me on Facebook as Megan.
Yeah, but
But listen.
Yeah, but I don't see it as Megan. I still see it as Brooke.
like I literally read the name Megan as Brooke.
Okay, so like, should we get on topic? Because like, I feel like I'm like messing
Oh,
everything
do you know
up.
what our topic is for today?
How are you messing it? Bro, this is what we do every time. And then somehow we get
edit
on
it.
topic, and then I edit it to holy hell and make it sound like we were on topic.
Anybody want to hear a story?
Okay, so
Let's get started.
Which story are we telling first?
oh yeah, we were gonna talk about her catfishing Peanut. Well, you catfishing Peanut with her
I
face.
was not even.
You were involved.
No, y'all said, "Hey, can I use your pictures to catfish?"
No, I text you and I was like,
think
we're
I'm
gonna
pretty.
use you.
You said yes as long as I get updates, and we updated you.
True.
Like once, and then I was like,
it's okay. He didn't
brave.
update me either, so
Y'all added me or like added that profile like y'all was friends, and I was like, does he not notice that like we tag each other and stuff?
No, he's
He's
never on
no,
Facebook.
he doesn't pay attention.
So I don't know if we should start on our side or like on Brooke's side, where like she's minding her business in North Carolina and gets a text. I don't know. Like
We can start with her minding her business and then gets this text from us.
so like
I feel
what?
like that's a good way to do it.
Do you remember what happened when we texted you, or like what you were doing?
So okay, so you get a text from us.
That tells me that y'all are gonna catfish Mark's brother, and can we use your pictures? And I was like, sure, just give me updates. And then that's all I heard.
Yeah, I didn't hear much after I left either, so don't feel too bad.
But I think it was more like Mark and his sister-in-law.
It was Mark and Lilia, yeah.
Me, and I was just like, oh. But inside I was
And
like,
my brother too, my other brother. There were 3 or 4 people at one point that were all Scarlet at one time. So like my sister-in-law and I were like, we don't know good pickup lines. So we looked at my brother and we're like, well, like, what would you want a girl to say to you? And so like we gave him the phone, and he started Tinder messaging our brother, and then we just started Tinder messaging all
Well,
of
hold on. I was on Tinder.
You were on Tinder. Scarlett was on Tinder.
That was how we matched it. We made the Facebook to have the Tinder.
Yes. So we made the Facebook and the Tinder me, Ashley, and my sister-in-law were sitting in the back of the car. So we're watching them play softball. It ends. My brother and Ashley
I remember that.
and my sister-in-law get in the car. And she kind of looks at him and she's like, "So we're catfishing your brother." He's like, "Why?" She's like, "We just want to see if he has game." He's like, "Okay."
He was totally in for it.
And so like while we're waiting, like we found my brother, we swiped right, we're waiting for him to match. In the meantime,
What
we're matching.
pictures did y'all use of me? I'm like,
I don't remember. And we've matched all these people. We're sending like the most ridiculous messages to these people. My brother's coming up with most of them. The one he came up with was, I forget, it was like, "What's your favorite flower?" And it was like, "Why?" Do you remember this?
No,
It was a pegging joke, and we sent it to a straight guy.
I don't remember this.
It was like, "Oh, what's your favorite flower?" He was like, "Oh, I don't know why." And she's like, "Oh, so I can put it on your grave after I'm done murdering that ass later." And this guy, this is not my brother, loved it. He thought it was the funniest thing he had ever heard. Keeps talking to Scarlett, asks for her number, which they decide is my number. So this guy starts texting me.
Mark. It's a Scarlett's boyfriend, Mark.
Yes. So, and this guy's name, I'm not going to say his real name. We'll just say it was Brian. It wasn't.
It was Ryan. I'm just kidding.
His real name was Chris, but we'll edit that out. Then my brother finally matches. And Ashley and me and Lily look at each other and we're like, "Okay."
Wait, did he swipe right on me?
Yes.
Okay.
Could have been. Just saying. And so we're flirting with him. Obviously, we can't give him anybody's number because he has all of our numbers.
That's when you make a Google Voice number, duh.
He never asked. Sorry.
You want to ask me, hey.
Ashley leaves. We keep this going for like weeks. And it comes to a night where me, my friend Becca, who we've now let in on the joke, my sister-in-law, and my two brothers are getting ready to go out, including the brother we're catfishing, which is Peanut. And so we message him and we're like, "Oh, hey, we're going to be out in Mount Lookout later. You know, you should find me." He's like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll be out there too." We send the same message to Brian and he says, "Yeah, I'm going to be out." So we're minding our business. We get dressed up. We go out to the bar. We're mingling. And Becca starts smacking me and she was like, "Brian is here." And I look over and I see Brian walking through the bar and I'm like, "Oh, fuck." He walks right up to Peanut and they bro hug. They knew each other. Not only do they know each other, they're both looking at their phones and looking around the bar. They're both looking for the same girl
For me.
who doesn't actually exist.
You know what would have been great is if the two of us had gone up there.
Yes.
And like then you had just been like, "You know what? I don't think this is gonna work out. Sorry."
That had been like, wait, who? No. My name's Megan. Scarlett?
My brother lets it go, doesn't say anything. Brian is blowing up my phone. Like, "Where are you? I don't see you. What are you wearing?" I'm like, "I'm in a red dress. I'm at the bar." And so like we watch him leave my brother, walk across the bar, like he's looking like at the service area at the bar.
At the service well?
"I don't see you." Yeah. And we're like, "Oh, we left and went to a different bar." And then we kept drinking all night. This guy is running around Mount Lookout looking for this girl because we kept saying she was at a different bar. Because it's like a strip of bars. And
Poor
then
guy.
we leave and we're in the car. My brother has given up on Scarlett. We think. He did message like once or twice after that, but it wasn't anything good. My phone starts ringing and it is Brian. And I'm like, I can't answer. So we hand it to my friend Becca, who was shit-faced. And he's like, "Hey, where are you?" She's like, "I'm in an Uber." He's like, "Well, where are you going?" She's like, "I don't know." He's like,
That's
you're in an Uber and you didn't know where you're going?" And we have it on speaker. Me and my other brother are trying not to laugh. My sister-in-law is literally like scream giggling in the front seat. And Becca's like, no. He's like, well, I was looking for you all night. She was like, I was in a red dress at the bar. I don't know how you didn't see me. I just don't know how you didn't see me. And like he kept saying, like, you should come over, like, I'll give you my address. And she was like, oh, I don't know where I'm going. And then he finally got like frustrated and hung up. And that was the night Scarlett died.
Okay, but important question. Did your brother have game?
No.
That was the whole point of the whole thing, though.
Yeah.
Because he kept saying how he had so much game and all this other shit.
He had a game. He did not have game. His game was the standard attractive male game where he's like, I'm going to give a little bit and then let them come to me.
Nah.
That is not game. No.
That's not how we work, honey.
That's why I was with my nudes. I knew what I was doing.
Oh, sir.
It worked for me.
Hold on. If we're going to talk about, can we bring up the night I met Mark?
Like officially met Mark? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you get mad at him.
Yeah.
And you hang up. And I'm like, so. And he's like, is she mad at me? And I was like,
as I'm literally texting you furiously.
blowing up my phone. And he can hear my phone going, what she's saying. And I'm like,
oh no.
and then I'm like, hey.
That's a true friend right there. They don't tell the other person.
Oh, you wouldn't have wanted to know. We would not be here today.
No, I went and I called his ass later and I was like, listen here.
I did end up being the voice of reason because I was like, Ashley, he's going to hoe around with whoever he wants to hoe around with. Okay.
And I think
I just waited 2 years to tell her.
Listen, we put up with Kevin for a long time. Let Mark have one idiot mistake. I mean, he'll probably make more later.
True. So we were on Skype, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uvu.
We were on Uvu?
Because we didn't have multi-people Skype yet.
Oh, yeah. What were we talking about?
Hold on. What were we talking about?
The night you first met me. No, we finished that.
No, we're talking about what we were talking about that night. But what we were talking about that night that you met Mark that brought up that one topic.
What was his name? Don't say it. Redacted is his name. I just don't want Ashley to like see red again, you know? And then me and Mark are sitting here like, well, next week on the podcast, what the F are we doing? That's what we would be saying.
We were talking. Were we talking about you asked Mark if he'd ever had sex before.
Because I didn't know Mark was gay. Remember? Like, I was so upset when you told me. Because I thought Mark was cute.
It's a toss-up. It can go either way.
And so you asked him if he'd ever had sex. And of course, me being me, because I'm like, oh, Mark tells me everything. I was like, no, he hasn't had sex. And Mark is just sitting there
No. You were like, yeah, with so-and-so. And he said a different name when you said the name that you thought it was.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And you were like, hold on. What?
Because at that time, I hadn't been with anybody else yet.
That she knew of.
No, that was the only one.
You were like, what? And he was like, yeah, you knew that. And you were like, no, I didn't. I hate that guy. And then she's like, click. And then I'm like, so you're gay, huh? Whoops. Sorry I hit on you earlier.
We'll address that later.
But right now, we need to get Ashley unmad at you because this is awkward.
I just remember texting Brooke, like, this is ridiculous. I can't believe he didn't tell me.
And then here I'm trying to be the voice of reason, like she's actually going to listen to me. And then she did, like, 2 years later.
Like 9 guys later, she was like, "Oh, it wasn't that bad."
Like she's probably like, it could get worse, and it
It
will, maybe.
did it. It
Oh, it did. Oh, it
I
it
don't know.
really did.
Honestly, I can't say because I don't know your new man, so I don't know. And I have not kept track of the other ones, if there have
I
been
haven't
other,
kept track of the other ones. I don't.
because I was just so upset that you were gay.
I could tell from the first time I met him. I was like,
You
this
can tell from the
boy.
time you wore that white shirt with the vest.
Fashion moment.
He was an innovator.
Because
It's
it
called
sure did
fashion,
not.
Look it up.
It sure did not keep you warm during haunted nights at Halloween. So
We didn't say he was smart. We said he's fashionable. Okay, it's not the same thing.
what is your favorite memory with us then? I mean, you can do separately or together, it's fine. Either way. We have a lot of memories together though.
Yeah, but my favorite was when there's us sneaking to get the tattoos yeah.
That's a good
But
one, yeah.
when you came back in 2017 and we saw Redacted at the restaurant, but before that, he was like, I don't like her. She scares me. She's such a witch. And I'm
A
like,
witch? He called
well, he
or
said
the other
word, but
one?
but
Oh,
my
okay.
mom might listen to this, And I was like, well, maybe not even her, probably my grandma, But I was like,
Hi, Grandma.
hey, grandma. Hey, Ruth. What's up, girl? Anyways, he was like, she's so scary. And I was like, yeah, she
That's
is.
the point. Somebody has to be.
We like a man who can take it.
Do we, though?
So then your favorite memory of Mark.
Him dancing up on me the first time I actually met him in person was great. But, all the tweets that you would make about, Roberto.
The alimony
I
tweets.
still look up on my personal sometimes and see I keep tabs on Mark because I'll send Ashley, I'm like, what in the world is this?
She does. And I'm like, I don't know. So then you
I
know
would
what I
not
do?
let him breathe.
So then I go over to Mark and I'm like, what is happening?
What's going on?
Like
What's
when
going on, Candyland?
and I saw where you had posted something of you singing karaoke, and I was like, why weren't we invited?
You're always invited.
Yeah, but we're not.
Because y'all moved to different states. Well, Brooke was already there. You moved.
I've been here, girl.
The three of us are a mess together.
no.
That's all I gotta say.
But the all time was when the Nikki Bella post started out making fun of, because all of ours were over the top at first.
Yeah.
And then it became just this casual, just
subtle.
It was this.
You know what the best part is that she knows.
No,
she knows that's what. Yes, she does. I've told her. How different is it from what you thought it was gonna be?
I don't even know what I thought it was gonna be. I was like, I'll just wing this stuff, and that's basically what I've been doing the whole time. No, so I mean, when you get pregnant, you think oh, it's going to be so perfect. I'm going to take all these pictures and I'm going to look my makeup's going to be done and everything. And I'm going to push and not have an epidural. And then the baby's just going to be so easy. And then the Lord was like, ha, 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 ha. And I knew.
The Lord said, nope.
Yeah. I kept telling my mom, I was like, I am not going full term. I'm not. I just knew. I was like, there's no way I'm going full term with this baby. And I was like, when you start thinking about my baby shower, my mom's like, you are 15 weeks pregnant. I said, Mom, I'm telling you, we have to have that baby shower in May or I will not get one. I won't. And she was like, you're crazy. And I'd go to the doctor and they're like, yeah, everything's great. He's measuring perfect, blah, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, I got preeclampsia and it was just oh. So beginning of May, actually, I was almost 28 weeks or something. I didn't feel him all day. And I was so paranoid. And they So I went to the hospital, and they were like, oh, no, he's kicking, but your protein, like, in your urine is, like, really high, and your blood pressure is, like, insane. So I had to start going twice a week.
I remember that. You
Yeah.
literally text, because I text you about something, and like, you had been texting me back pretty quickly, because, like, you were pretty much at home most of the time because of everything. So I didn't get a text back, and I was like, hello? Like, what's going on? Are you okay? And you were like, and then I don't get anything for like a day. And then I just get this simple text message. Oh, I was in the hospital. I'm sorry. What? You're pregnant. Hello?
They told me, and listen to this. Here in the emergency room, you come in, your legs half off. It's like expected because we're in the South, you know. They're like, oh, you'll be fine. Just sit in the. You come in and you're pregnant and you say, I don't feel my baby. Woo, woo, woo. Like, they get you upstairs and hooked up. And I was like, that's the fastest I've ever been in an ER. So I was miserable. And that weekend that you were supposed to come down, I cleaned like my whole apartment. Because, like, I didn't know if, like, you and, like, Erickson were going to come over. Like, I didn't know what we were doing. So I was like, okay, I got to clean. And then I did not realize that. So I cleaned, had all my stuff, had the baby shower on Sunday, came home. I was swollen. Like, if you look at those pictures of, like, me and Ashley.
Your feet were swollen, bro.
Awful. Like, I was wearing, like, I went up, like, 2 shoe sizes when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And that's one thing, like, he would tell me, he was like, how do you tell the mother of your child, like, no, like, that shoe doesn't look right on you because your feet are that big? Like, how do you, like, you know that's going to crush her. Like, how do you tell her that, you know? And then,
well, I think that's something in general, though. Like, how do you tell, like, the person who's pregnant, like, oh, that doesn't look good on you?
Which, I mean, like, I've always kind of had, like, a little bit of, like, the dysmorphia, like, the body dysmorphia. It's like, I see myself, like, way bigger than, like, what I really am.
That's something that you and I have always, like,
no. Yeah.
That's something that you and I have always, like, talked about, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, even, like, when we were, like, skinny and, like, you were doing, like, those John Cena workouts, like, we thought we were, like, huge, you know, and, like, we weren't. And so I was like, I wish I could go back to when I first thought I was fat.
I wish that I was that level of quote-unquote fat, because I am not there right now, and I wish that's where I was at.
Not me, honey. But so then they were like, oh, you guys start coming twice a week for non-stress tests. I'm like, I thought I was gonna lose my job, like, everything. I was like, but, like, they were, like, very understanding with me. And, like, I got pregnant before I started. Like, I found out I was pregnant. They called me and offered me the job the next day. But I did not, like, say, like, oh, I'm pregnant. Like, I feel like I didn't know. And then I was, like, too sick. And, like, I was throwing up at work and stuff. And they're like, you might be pregnant. And I was like, what? Me?
No.
Surprise!
So then it got hard to, like, hide that I was, you know. So I was like, yeah, I took a test. I'm pregnant. Blah, blah, blah. Like, you know. And then they, like, really worked with me on, like, everything. And, like, they're like, you're not going to lose your job because you're pregnant. You're fine. So, like, they were understanding for, like, my doctor's appointments. But I had my baby shower. And then that next day, I missed work because I was, like, so sick. And, like, I had a migraine. And they kept telling me, and, like, I didn't have headaches, like, the whole time I was pregnant. You know, I had migraines, like, really bad. I didn't have one the whole time I was pregnant. And they were like, when your preeclampsia gets, like, worse, you start getting headaches and stuff. So I held out to my next appointment. And as soon as I walked in, I was like, yeah, I've been having headaches. They made me pee, and they were like, your protein's high. We're keeping you for 24 hours.
Bro, can we just talk about how you didn't even tell me you were in the hospital until, like, a day or two later? And I was like, hello? Actually, no, I don't even think you told me. I think Christian told me. And I was like, hello?
Okay, in my defense, okay, I didn't want to worry nobody because I was like, oh, they're only keeping me for a couple of hours and then they're going to let me go, okay? And then me and my dad are sitting there in the hospital room, and the doctor comes in, and she's like, you're not leaving the hospital until you have your baby. They were like, you're not, like, they first told me I wasn't going past 37 weeks. So then they're like, well, you're not going past 34. And then 2 days later, they're like, yeah, you're having the baby this week. And I'm like, what?
I just remember getting a text at work Like, I was actually leaving to go out of town, like, the next day. And I got a text from him, and I was like, whoa, wait a
I was
second.
just there.
What is happening? I was literally there, like, 3 days ago. Like, okay, I guess I'm getting on a plane and coming back. Like, what is happening?
Nobody even really understood, like, the severity of it. Like, I don't think we even did at the time. And my, it's like every time that the doctors were there, like, one doctor would say something, then another doctor would say something else. So finally, my dad was like, okay, is she having the baby this week? Well, we can't really, like, in your honest opinion, is she going to make it through the week? Well, no. And it took us like 5 days to get that out. Then they do an ultrasound and they're like, yeah, your placenta's not working anymore. So your baby's not getting anything from you. And they're like, your baby's supposed to be 3.5 pounds. He's 2. And it's pretty much just, we got to monitor. And if his heart rate keeps dropping, we're going to take him out. And I'm like, oh, yay. So then that night, and they're like, you're probably going to have a baby tonight. So we're moving you back to labor and delivery. So I call my parents. They speed there. Then he decides to start behaving. And then Saturday, they come in. They're like, you're having a baby today. And I'm like, wait, what? No, I'm not. Yeah, you are. In an hour.
You literally sent me a text and you're like, so in the next hour, I'm going to have a baby. And I was like, what? I'm in Indianapolis. Like, what is happening? Thank God for FaceTime, because I still haven't been able to make it down there to see Ezra. But thank God for FaceTime, because Aunt Ashley gets to see Ezra whenever she wants.
Yeah, and he actually smiles at you. He don't smile at everybody.
I know.
Like,
that's why I'm like, wait till I get there in person and then he's gonna know.
Whenever I FaceTime my grandma, he's like a dang, like, chimp. He comes out and we're going, like, to see grandma. He's so excited.
I was looking at pictures the other day.
He's like a national treasure, dude. Like, everybody loves my grandma.
I found pictures. Do you remember that one? I think it was December when we met halfway and we had dinner.
Yeah. What's funny is I was staying with her because my parents were out of town, because they would always go out of town for New Year's. And I didn't tell her we were going. I was just like, hey, like, we're going to go meet Ashley. But I didn't say, hey, we're going 2 hours away. She's riding in the car with me. She's like, but this is not down the street. And I was like, oh, we're going to Charlotte. My bad. Do you remember when I got in trouble? Because, and I'm a grown woman at this point, my mom took my phone because me and Ashley were texting and we were cussing. And I said some curse words. And my mom's like, we don't talk like that. And I was like, okay, sorry.
And you never told me until later. And I was like, hello?
You should never read mine and Ashley's texts.
What? Yeah, I know. But I was like, well, Mom, if I'd known you was going to take my phone, honey, I'd have deleted them. I didn't know. Like, she was so upset about that. And I was like,
you should hear us talk in person then. That's because in person we're all nice and polite and we would never say anything like that. Do you miss going to work though? Like, or do you prefer just to be a stay-at-home mom?
My plan was I was going to go back to work after like 8 weeks, but I didn't know I was going to have a preemie. So then when he ended up being a preemie, my parents like intervened and was like, you need to stay home with him. Because you don't know, like, I didn't know, like, was he going to need early development for, like, early intervention for anything? Because with therapy, like, I didn't know. So they were like, you need to stay home with him. Well, his immune system is not, like, normal and obviously he's behind. So I don't feel safe with him going to, like, a daycare or anything like that. So my parents were like, you need to stay home, like, until he's old enough to go to a preschool. I was like, oh, great, okay. Oh, hold on. Can we talk about how Nikki didn't just say Ziegler? It was like calling him like Chad or something or whatever, Zach. And it's like, I wonder who she's talking about.
Mark, what's your favorite part?
Yeah, mine's on my phone.
Mine is, but I also
Mine's
got
in
it
the
in
mail
hard
somewhere.
copy, and Mark still hasn't gotten his.
I'm
So
talking about- Listen, I can't paper read nothing with this child. Anything I want to keep, he's like, Tara.
My favorite part, I've not actually gotten to read the book yet because mine is still in shipping somewhere. But Ashley sent me some synopsises. And there is a part about flappy lips that I just really enjoyed. The gifts that I sent Ashley back were great.
But do you remember what he's talking about? She froze.
She's so frozen.
You don't remember in the last chapter, at the beginning of the last chapter, when she's talking about how
Can we do
she
a
got
dramatic
an
reading?
infection?
Is
We're
it
gonna do a
Nicole?
dramatic reading.
Yeah, when she sat in the bathtub, where my flaps were looking like two floating balls in the water.
I told you I skipped over her chapters, and that is why. Her sister sounded so much more intelligent because I feel like Brian was helping her, and yeah, my favorite.
Well, I
part
just
was
I
when
just-
her and Brian were.
Oh my god, her chapter about her and Brian was the cutest.
And the fact he didn't tell her he loved her until he proposed to her, like, I get it.
But okay, but the chapter about Bear, I cried.
It's so sad. Yeah.
I cried.
I mean, I did like their take on like the whole AJ thing, and I actually believe them more on what happened there because the fact that everybody collectively was pissed.
Right.
I believe, and I'm sorry, she's with CM Punk, not a shocker. I don't
Right.
mind AJ Lee, but I know that she 100% went away from what was probably the plan.
Oh yeah, because
saw
that's how
her
he
moment and
was.
was like, I'm gonna take it, but
Right.
it backfired because then she didn't even stay. If she wouldn't have attacked them for their sexual history, I feel like it would have done a lot more than it did. I feel how I feel about AJ Lee, and I'm not sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm not a fan.
Feel your idol's man, the woman you worshipped, you steal her man and marry him. You a hoe.
Mark's
Lita
a
did not
fan.
deserve that. Lita deserves
Mark-
better than that. Hi, Mark. Love you. Lita
Mark's
deserves
a fan. Yeah, I was gonna say Mark's a huge fan of hers, so he
Love
he
you.
feels a
Haven't
little
followed her
differently
much
than
since she
we
left
do.
her.
I loved
But-
her when until she got with Punk. Loved her.
That was my thing though. Is I was never a huge fan, but I did appreciate her work in the ring, and then I just feel like after they got together, she just became like,
She got lazy.
Do you think he's gonna wrestle again?
no, not after he got his ass kicked in UFC.
No, wrestle, not UFC. WWE.
No.
Because he's on their backstage show now or whatever, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He is.
He's working for WWE again.
Yeah,
Well, he's technically working for Fox.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's not working for WWE.
But yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
on a
working
show
for
with
Fox.
like Paige.
He's on the
and-
show all the
Yeah.
time.
I didn't know anybody who went over there until Mox went over there, and then I was like, oh, okay, let me see who else is over here.
Everybody knew he was gonna go.
Yeah.
Right.
The second he came back and was fit and had his hair, I was like, he's going to AEW. He ain't staying here.
Well, they even kept like teasing, like, oh, maybe it was just the Twitter fans. I don't remember, but we knew he was leaving.
It was very obvious.
He was tweeting videos he had made, like the promo videos he had made, and there were like references to like casino stuff. Like there was like little, and you were like, hold on.
But those videos also reminded me of before he went to WWE. Like that's what those reminded me of.
Yeah. The only thing I don't like that AEW does is the win, loss, draw record. I don't like that because then you're like, oh wow, he lost 8 matches and won 5. He's not good. And it's not that. It's like it's storyline. So like, why are you using the MMA
Right.
style? Like, it don't make sense. No, but for real, like if you decide to watch wrestling again, you probably will not be shocked. And I mean, I wasn't allowed to watch the WWE until I got like a teen. We watched the latter WCW, and because I was not allowed to watch Stone Cold and Suck It, and like, no, my mom was like, absolutely not. So we watched Sting and Goldberg and NWO instead. Seeing people like the announcers from WCW, it feels like familiar. So I guess that's
Yeah.
why I like it. And the setup, it has the American dream all over it. And I guess that's why I like it.
But see, that's kind of how I felt about this book. I felt like I knew a lot of this.
Some of it I knew is because it's the same. Like, I knew about the Deep Search stuff. I knew about, like, I mean, the FCW stuff was, like, the same as it was for everybody. So.
It's time for random AF.
Which celeb BFF would you want?
Brie Bella, obviously. I like, want to be her best friend.
She's
I
pretty
don't
cool,
have
not
to
gonna
be
lie.
friends, but I do want to be her friend.
Elle King, I think.
Who?
Elle King.
Again, I say who?
She is like blues.
Isn't she?
Wait,
Isn't
is
she a
that Bob
singer?
Iger's daughter?
Yes, I love her. She's a great musician. She's a great singer, but she's also she's hilarious. Like, she's fucking hilarious. And like, I'll watch like live videos of her like during a concert, and it's like you can see her dad in her, because like she'll go like this explanation between the songs, and I'm like, this is like a stand-up routine in the middle of a concert. Like,
Mine would have to be Brie, just because I love Brie.
aliens.
What?
Do you believe in aliens?
I mean, I saw them in Spice World, so they're obviously real.
Okay, but like also, did you guys hear about that? Did you see the article about how scientists? Yes.
I hope that I'm doing okay there. Like, I hope, like,
Same.
shout out to my parallel me. Like, keep up the good work. Hope you're not a train wreck, honey.
Did you see the Captain America meme about that?
Does that mean Iron Man's alive over there?
Yes.
Which also, hold on. Freaking Kaylin does not like Marvel movies, so like I can't be
She's
her
been
friend.
watching them. Did she tell you?
Yes, but
Hold
she
on.
hates
Wait,
them.
what?
Okay, she said I cannot make it through these movies, so give me a recap of all of them. And I said, okay. I said, well, Iron Man dies, and she's like, well, I already knew that. And I was like, well, that's all.
That's all you really need to know. So
I was more upset about Black Widow, and I stand by that.
I was more upset by Iron Man. I
was more upset about Thor losing his eye. Okay, but
That was Ragnarok.
But if it had been Hawkeye, I would have cried.
Oh, if Hawkeye had died, we'd have had to have like a funeral for Ashley.
Yes.
Do you have any regrets?
I don't know. No. Because if I had to change stuff, I probably wouldn't have Ezra. So, you know.
Mark? True.
His regret is what's his face. Name redacted.
Mark, do you have any regrets?
Yes. Well, I have regrets, but like you grow from them, so I wouldn't like undo them if I could. But I do look back and I'm like cringe.
Same. So that's me. It's like I try not to have any regrets. Like I try to just like do the dang thing. But
no
I definitely
regrets.
But I mean, I definitely look back and I'm like, ooh.
That was a choice.
Ooh, I should not have done that.
How often would you have sex if you could? So like you have like an unlimited babysitter.
I mean, at least every day, every other day. I don't know. I'm a woman. It's not like we're like, oh, hey, like, you know, we have hormones and stuff, and I'm not trying to do it like certain times of the month.
Accurate. Okay, but let's say that that's not part of it.
Every day.
Same. I would say twice a day.
Oh gosh, woo!
How often would the kitty purr?
I honestly, morning sex is the best sex. It puts me in a good mood for the rest of the day.
First.
Huh?
You have to brush your teeth first.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Oh, we don't. We
Well,
literally just listen. The times we've had morning sex, we just
so y'all don't even kiss. Got it.
Oh no, we do.
Oh Lord,
You
sorry,
just
Mom.
you just learned to ignore it.
I didn't answer, woman.
Oh,
We
oops.
don't want to know about you. We already know with you.
Like
Cornball.
3 times a day, I would say.
I think the most I've done it in a day is like 5 times a day. Yeah. Oops.
Oops.
If you had to live in another time, when would it be?
Before Scarlet Witch died. Not Scarlet Witch. God, shoot me.
Okay.
What?
Before Black Widow died.
I'd live in probably the 70s.
I would.
Because
I wanna
that's
go to
when
Woodstock.
Led Zeppelin was at their prime. You know, that's when really good music was happening. Actually, the 60s and 70s.
I want to see Janice. That's all I care about.
R.I.P.
I feel like I would do it during like Prohibition, just because of like just because of the cool like outfits and like the secret parties and stuff. Like that'd be so cool.
So, where did you hide the body?
What?
Where did you hide the body?
Whose body?
It's just a general question of like, where would you hide the body? But instead, you just say, where did you hide the body?
Probably in my grandma's shed, because she never goes out there. And it's like a hoarder-free zone, so you'd never even know anybody was in there.
I don't know where I'd hide the body. I feel like it would depend on who it is.
Yeah. Mine is battery acid. Just going off with the shows I've seen.
Wow. Okay, Mark.
Okay.
What body?
Does size matter?
Like where? Everywhere?
Your front tooth. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
No.
Ma'am.
It's all about the motion in the ocean, my friend.
I mean, I agree. It's all about if you can use it, it doesn't matter. If you know what you're doing, you can have a big one. And if you're not good at it, then it's not going to do anything. So
I mean, it might matter to Mark, but it don't matter to me.
Size of the cake matters more than the size of the
Ew.
the
Ew.
thing. The rolling pin. That's what I'm looking for.
Penis.
Yeah.
Literally, there's 2 in your relationship, and you can't say the word.
Well, I didn't know what we were saying and what we weren't saying for Mom.
Oh, it'll probably get blocked out. It's okay.
It'll stay. It has to stay. How do you deal with stress?
Not well. How about you?
And
I interrogate the laugh.
what?
You don't even know. No, I hang out by myself in my room without my baby for a few minutes.
Same.
I like to soak.
Yeah, I like to just be by myself.
Yeah, like that's the only way. And watch TikTok, which I used to hate, but now I love it.
Fuck, marry, kill.
Oh, Lord.
WWE edition. So your choices are John Cena, Edge, or Roman Reigns.
I can't go first.
Ma'am, you are the guest. You are going first.
Oh, Lord. Okay. I'm sorry, Roman. You got cancer anyway. I'm going to have to kill you. You got to go. Please edit that out, because I do love him.
How can I edit it out when I need to say who you killed?
I can say it again. I'll kill Roman.
Why?
Reasons. I would marry John Cena for the financial stability. And, I mean, he is good looking. And I would have intercourse with Mr. Copeland.
That did not go how I thought it would.
Same. I didn't think it would go that way.
Ashley and I talked about it yesterday. We're both like, she's
You
killing
thought I'd
Cena.
marry Edge? Yeah.
No, we just thought you were going to kill Cena.
I was going to kill Cena, and then we got to talking about it, you know, and I was like, money.
I would marry Cena, obviously. And then I would fuck Edge and kill Roman.
Why?
I'm not a Roman fan, so I don't really care. Miss, I fainted when Roman came next to me.
I did.
He did what next to you, ma'am?
He was just coming down the stairs, walking down.
That's what you call him?
Let me tell you something. You saw her on screen. You saw her fall.
That was me. No, listen, my mom was on the end, and when I realized that was the ramp, I made her switch with me. I was like, let me sit there. She said, why? I said, you'll see. I didn't know I was going to faint, though. Like, that was not planned.
You actually faint?
Literally,
I'll
yes,
swear I did.
she literally like passed out for a second, and I was like,
I
"Ma'am,
turned and looked at my cousin. It was like, and then I went, leave me alone.
I would kill them all.
Wow.
Do I have to answer?
yes, you have to pick." We did, so now it's your turn.
I mean, I liked mine, but sure. Fuck Roman, marry Cena, kill Edge. Because he's like 100 years old, so he's going to die anyway.
Him and John Cena are the same age, excuse you.
Well, John doesn't look as pruned. Okay. Brookums,
Yes.
would you have a threesome?
No.
Like ever in your life?
No, that's a hard pass. I don't share. You know how on Friends, when Joey doesn't share food, Ashley doesn't share.
Absolutely not.
Same.
Okay.
Really, Mark? I feel like you would.
Single
Single
drunk,
Mark. Probably.
single drunk Mark probably would have, but relationship Mark would never.
Okay, so say that you're single. Would you have a threesome?
Depending on, well, like if it was my gangbang from episode 1, then yeah. Let's go. How do I sign off PG?
Thank you for joining the, what's our podcast called? The Candy Bella podcast. 8 years in the making. This has been Candace Cornell
Candace.
and the Bella Twins. Circa 2014.
Oh my god. No, that was 2013.
13 and 14, baby.
Candace Cornell and the Bella Twins circa 2013.
Yes. A moment in history.
Supposed to happen then, but we didn't know how to record stuff.
True, we didn't. I don't think you could.
Make sure you visit us at the Candy Dish Lounge.